Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. Ho, ho, ho! Good tidings! Well, stuff my stockings. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, welcome to Qyjari's Curious Crafts. Today on Aunt Anne's tree, I'm going to make this really adorable whimsical pizza ornament. It's pepperoni, of course, because that's our favorite. So let's get started. Oh, it's a much better view. Okay, so if you want to follow along, I have this pattern available as a PDF file on my Discord. So the link to Discord is below. And you can just go to the Aunt Anne's tree category, and there's a list of this pattern and the other patterns that I've done so far on the show. And just print it out, and you've got the pattern. So let me go over the supplies we're going to need. We will need 4 different colors of felt. And I jokingly refer to all of them as the crust layer. And this is a camel color. I think one company calls it cashmere. So you could get it at your local craft stores. I would recommend, once again, using quality felt pieces, not found at the local discount stores. Because the you'll see why. When we do the stitching, it really matters to get the higher quality. Yeah, it is territorial pizza crust. It does look like territorial beige. That's the paint we use a lot in my terrain building. You'll also need the sauce layer, and that's just red. I'm sure it's called crimson or garnet or some other color, but it's just red. And that's the sauce layer. Now for the cheese, you'll need goldenrod. Unless you want another, maybe mozzarella or something, and you could just use a different color. You know, it's your pizza. You can do what you want. And also, I buy this by the yard because I use so much of it, especially during the Christmas holiday. This is it's a red, but it has a bit of a pattern to it. So let me just hold that higher up to the camera. You can kind of see it has this sort of the markings of grays and blacks in there. It just gives it a little, not texture, but it looks like it has texture. And actually, one side is darker than the other. And I use this for a lot of ornament making. You can see the other side there. And this is for our pepperoni. This is the pepperoni part. You'll also need black. And I didn't bring any black over here because A, I forgot. And B, I already had the mouths cut out. But you'll need black also. Just scrap. I keep a bin full of scrap felt pieces that I can go through and use it for the smaller pieces of my projects. You'll also need 3mm black beads. I keep all of them. I think I got these at Michael's. These are for the eyes. They come in all different sizes. I know for another ornament that I think the pig ornament, we use 10mm. So you'll need 3mm for these. And you can make them bigger if you want. I use this felt covered tray here to keep little bits on, especially when I'm working with sequins and beads. You'll also need coordinating DMC floss or any other brand floss. I can't give you the numbers or colors for them because I don't know. I only use DMC. Hey, DMC, you want to sponsor? You want to sponsor me? I only use your floss, so that's a good idea. Nerdsmith needs to get on that. Yeah, gaffer, black felt. Actually, I do have 2 of my gaffers here today. They're out of school this week, so I should just send them to go grab some black felt. So you'll need for the crust layer, DMC 3864. For the, oh, where's my red? Oh, you don't need red. You actually don't need the sauce because I'll show you that's a trick. For the cheese, you'll need 781. And for the pepperoni, 3777. And of course, black for the mouth. Although I think I glued these on with the hot glue gun. Once again, Surebonder glue gun. I swear by them. They're wonderful. Sponsor me. I think I did glue these on because I think that forms a little smoother smile for the little pizza ornament. So you'll also need some stuffing. Again, quality stuffing only, polyfill. You can use the less expensive one for this because it's only going in the stuffing crust stuffed. It's not cheese filled, it's stuffing filled, so not really edible, but it goes in the crust part. And you don't really need the highest quality for that, but since that's what I buy, that's what I put in there. You'll also need coordinating ribbon to coordinate with your crust. This is 1/8 inch ribbon. It's just satin. You can buy these very inexpensively. I have every color I think that has ever been made in my collection over there, and this is to make the loop. Now, apparently, when I made this pizza years ago, because this is one of mine, I must have not found this color yet, and I used a beige color. But I like to always use the loop for the ornament hook, excuse me, that coordinates closely with the felt that it's being attached to. And the reason why is because I think it blends in better. So obviously this beige one, I'll need to take that out maybe and replace it with this color. I don't even know what this color is. It's color not appearing on this label, so I don't know. It's whatever. It's crust color. So there you go. There you go. See, Rainick takes great care to coordinate all the ribbon that he uses in all of his crafting endeavors. An ornament hook, you can use one or not. I explained before why I use small loops on my ornaments, because then you can adjust the size how you want it to hang on anything, your rear view mirror, your Christmas tree, whatever tree you want, or whatever place you want. I don't judge. So you'll need an ornament hook for that, or just hang it with this little loop here. Let's see what else. Of course, pins and needles, and oh, you will need a sewing needle. I use embroidery needles. And I've got some here, but you'll also need a thicker needle. This is for yarn, perhaps. Let's see if I can pick one out that has a really big eye on it. And the reason why is, let me raise that up. Can you see that? It's gonna go focus in and out. That is because we're going to, normally we sew the hook loops onto the ornament, but in this case we're gonna poke it right through the felt. Of course, we'll keep it in place on the inside with our glue gun, but to get it through there, we're going to need to actually thread a needle with this 1/8 inch ribbon. So that'll be later in the process. Okay, so now you've got your pattern printed out. I've vamped long enough, and I've got you've all printed out your pattern, and you're going to follow along. Just cut this pattern out using regular utility scissors. Don't use Mom's Good Sewing scissors; she will have your head. And we'll use these patterns. But you know what? I'm going to set this aside and use the patterns that I have used, as you can see, multiple times. Just gridded paper that I made these years ago. Okay, so let's show you how to do the crust. This is the first time we've done an ornament where it's cut on a fold, and that is to keep the top part of the pizza smooth. And so we're going to cut this on a fold by putting that edge of the pizza, the crust part, at the top. And you can see here I've got it's a little bit too big, but that's because I've altered this pattern, and it actually smooths out more at the bottom instead of being a point. So I always try to maximize felt usage, so I'm going to squeeze that edge over to the side there and pin it on. These are just regular sewing pins. I always use the colored heads on them because The silver ones tend to get lost in the carpet, and you do not want to find those. It's not as bad as a Lego or a 1D4, but still pretty painful. Okay, so just cut that out along the side of the pattern. And this is a nice smooth cut. We're going to do some fun cuts in a little bit. The crust has a straight cut, and that's going to be much easier for sewing and stuffing. So that part straight will come in here and do this. And I try to always make a pattern, my patterns, to fit at least 2 ornaments on a piece of felt. You can find felt relatively inexpensively. The very inexpensive one is at the large chain discount store. And it's only like a quarter each. A quarter for each piece. I'm just going to round this bottom off here. I had to put my readers on. I can't see. I'm old and I'm blind. There we go. Okay, so let's just, I use my little Fiskars. Fiskars needs to support me too. I always use their scissors. I have all these options for sponsors. Okay, and again, I'll tuck that aside and use that for another project. Now, normally I would try to maximize the use of the felt here, but we want this to be on the fold. So if I want to make a second ornament, I would cut it like this and use that fold side there. But I've got enough cut out here and enough cut out ready to go right here. So what I did with the sauce and the cheese, the sauce and the cheese layers, is I use, and I did put the sauce and the cheese pattern separate. But here's a trick: if you just want to use the sauce, here's a way you can do it, and that's what I've done here. I've taken the sauce. You see, I've already cut one out here. I'll use this other side. I'm going to put them together, and I don't want them to be exactly the same, but the sauce is bigger, so I'm using the sauce pattern. And I'm just going to cut that out. I'm just going to cut it out in a triangle. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to follow my pattern exactly. I'm just going to cut it out very loosely like this. And here's the fun part. I'm going to try to stay with the right size though, at least close to it. I'm going to fudge it a little bit. Show you some of the tricks of the trade here. Okay, so I've got my 2 pieces. No, I won't say these little pieces. I won't find any use for that. And I've got a bazillion pieces in my my scrap bin. Okay. All right, so I've got my sauce and my cheese, but obviously we want the sauce to be larger than the cheese. Let's hold it up to our pizza here. We also want the sauce to be smaller a little bit so that we get that blanket stitch to go around the outside here. There's my finished piece. You see the blanket stitch there? Pull it down, pull it up. I'm self-producing today. Even though I've got 2 minions at home who could do it, I'm doing this myself. One of them, I think, is still in bed because she's a teenager and that's what they do best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sauce, and I'm just going to go around and make it a tiny bit shorter, and I'm going to, smaller I should say, and I'm going to go around and give it some waves, not too far off the border, you know, just a little bit. Sauce gets everywhere. A good marinara on your pizza. Like that. Just a little bit off the edge. I would say an 1/8 or more, maybe up to a 1/4 inch, but not too much. And then, and I wouldn't do the don't do the cheese at the same time because you want to offset the cheese. Hey Tea Girl, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm getting hungry for pizza. I think that's what I'm gonna have for lunch. Actually, oh, that's too big over there. I'm gonna have to trim that. Actually, I had a banana earlier, thinking that would segue. Is that a word? My appetite, but it just made me hungrier. So pizza will do the trick, though. Okay, so that is that's our sauce, And now the cheese needs to be smaller than that. So we're gonna cut this a little bit smaller. And we're gonna try to coordinate it so that some of the cheese goes in and out of the sauce, just like it is on our finished pizza there. And this will be a 1/4 inch or larger. And we can adjust it. We can make the waves. We can go in and out. In fact, I think I'll make that one go in a little bit on the edge there. Now I can be generous. I have plenty of felt, and I can be generous with how I'm cutting in case I mess up. But if you don't want to take the chance and do this, you can follow the pattern. It may not be exactly the way you want it. Now here's another trick too, is if it doesn't look good this way, which it doesn't because I don't like the way that sticks out, flip it around. I love using felt because you can use either side. It is a nice fabric with which to work. I like this here, but I don't like, that's not enough sauce showing on this side, so I'm gonna do a little bit more there. There we go. I think I hear one upstairs. Oops, did I do that wrong? Well, either way, it's gonna look, oh, that looks good. I got my red sauce on there, and maybe this cheese too big on this corner. Let's make that a little smaller. Protein shakes for lunch. Yeah, that my husband Crow, he's actually lost quite a bit of weight. His doctor told him last year that he needed to lose some weight, and he does the protein shakes for breakfast and lunch, and then just has a nice chicken and veggie dinner, and he has lost 65 pounds. He's looking good. We just went from rated PG to rated R there. Sorry. But yeah, he's looking, and he's in much better shape, and his health is just so much better. So yeah, it is. I was very happy for him. He thought he was eating fine, like he'd have a banana for lunch, but the doctor said that has a lot of carbs in it. If you didn't know, bananas have a lot of carbs. Anything sweet, I guess. All right, I'm just doing a little extra trimming so this looks nice, because this is being given away. If you're watching today and you're contributing in the chat, you qualify to win our little pizza. So if you're chatting right now, you qualify to win. I'm going to do this giveaway for my Twitch viewers only. So if you're in the channel and you haven't said anything yet, we love our lurkers. But if you want to win, just do a quick hi, and you qualify. That's all you have to do is say hi, just so I can identify that you're watching. That is too similar to that side. I'm going to flip that. Oh, there we go. Much better. Okay, so then you would take the dark red. I think that's how I called it on my instructions, and cut circles. And I use a pattern, or I made you a pattern, but actually I can just eyeball it, and I've done that here. I actually cut 3, and on the third one I just cut it in half for our pepperonis. And one's gonna go near the top-ish, one near the bottom, and a couple off the side as if they've been cut in half. Save room for that smile though. And these are going to be tricky sewing on, but I'll show you how to do it. And then the little smile, make sure there's room for that. Don't put a pepperoni there, with his little eyes right there. And we're ready to go. And that's all you have to do for cutting up. You know, you could just use a piece of black scrap for that. And move him out of the way. Okay, so the one thing you're going to do is unfold it, and you're just going to sew onto the one side, because the other side is nice and clean. I always make sure that the other side of my project looks as nice, if not as fancy, as the front side. It makes a difference, especially on a holiday tree, on a Christmas tree. If it's hanging there, it could turn, and you don't want anyone to see the backside with stitching and stuff on it. Or raw stitching, I should say. All right, let's take the pepperoni off and get started. We're going to use the 3864 color. No, I'm sorry. I meant this one. This is the cheese color. I'm calling it cheese. Oh no, well, good luck with that. Yeah, I understand strict diets for that purpose. Good luck with that. Wow, 60 from October. That is great. Congratulations. Good for you. And better for your health. I'm in a wedding at the end of March. The Real Tranquil, my brother, is getting married at the end of March. And my dress... I haven't been a bridesmaid in I don't know how long, like 30 years. And my dress is just a little too big. So I probably should lose, thus the banana. Probably should lose a couple 10 pounds. We'll see how it goes. I may just have to squeeze my butt into a Spanx or something. I don't know. It's my brother. He won't care. Alright, so I think I've showed you the trick. I'll do it again, of how to tie a knot at the end of your thread. Oh, and again, I use the DMC floss. It comes with 6 strands on the floss. You only need 2 of those strands. And this one happened to be ready, but on the next one we do, maybe on the dark red or on the crust color one, I will show you how to separate the floss. But if you don't know, just check other streams. They're all available on YouTube. Okay, so you take it. I always wet my finger. Everyone gets a little bit of my DNA on their project. And hold it in your thumb and forefinger. Wrap it around like that. And then twist. Not twist. What is the word? Just kind of make them... Yeah, twist it. And then use your nail to pull it into a knot. And this forms a nice... Let me try to see if I can get a dark... background so you can see what I'm talking about. This forms a nice whoop. I guess I'm not going to show it to you. There we go. It forms a nice big, there we go, knot at the end. Okay, now the stitch we're going to use to attach the cheese and the sauce to the crust it sounds so funny to say that, is just a running stitch. And I have samples here of the different stitches that we use in the crafting. Right here is a running stitch. And this is just in and out, in and out. Nice and even stitches. They're about an 1/8 inch, I guess, wide with a small gap in between each one. They're nice and easy. I wouldn't recommend using that stitch to hold large pieces of things together because there is a gap in between. It appears on the other side, but it's such a small gap. So you would just use a running stitch for this. I used to do blanket stitches on all the interior pieces of the ornaments that I made, but it looked too busy. So I decided that the running stitch is not only easier, it looks nicer. So a win-win on that. All right, so keeping these two together, and if you want to, you can put you can hold them together with a pin. I don't, simply because A, I always stab myself with it, and B, the thread catches on it sometimes. It doesn't matter where you start on this project, except start in the back, because you want to hide your knot. And I would go a little less than an 1/8 inch all the way around, or from the edge of the cheese. The cheese. All right, and we're just gonna sew this. We're just gonna chat and sew this. I'll chat and talk about what's happening tonight. If you are a fan of crafting and you want to watch someone put together some steampunk items, my friend Rena is on tonight at 7. Is that correct, Rainek? Oh, hey, Secondhand Samurai. Didn't see you pop in. I'm self-producing, so I don't always get to see even though I blew up my my Streamlabs chat bot to like 400% from my old eyes, I don't always see people pop in. But yeah, 7 p.m. East tonight. I think she's still working on that slave cuff. I can't remember if she finished it or not. I tune in, but that's one of the nights that Crow and I game together and watch TV together. So I watch for a little bit, but then I don't always see it to the end. So yeah, oh, the cuffed slave bracelet. Yeah, it looks so cool. She's gotten so far on that. I think this is week 3 or 4. She's been working on that. And they're all about, she and Rainek have the Clan Silverwind. They're all about love and positivity. It's a great stream to watch. And if you're, especially if you're into crafting. Sure, go ahead. Raynick is one of my moderators. Thank you, Raynick, for being here today. He works from home on Thursday, so he pops in. Whoopsie, that got caught on my scissors over there. I better move those. So I thank him for that. Let me talk about if you're a D&D fan, like I am. Many of my followers are. If you play Dungeons and Dragons. As a bonus content stream for Nerdsmith, if you become a subscriber there, you get access to a lot of bonus content. It's all pretty cool. And so all of us creators put together bonus content for them. And the one thing I'm going to do several things, but one of the things I'm going to do is run a D&D stream live here in my, it's actually in my craft studio, but this used to be our D&D room, which explains that wall behind me when you saw me at the beginning of the stream, painted like a dungeon wall. It'll be held in here, plus all of our cameras are all my cameras are like strung from the ceiling. So it'll be easier to do it in here. We're running a live D&D show right here, 3-hour stream on March 16th from 9 o'clock until midnight. I have talked into, I didn't have to do a lot of talking, they all wanted to do it. 3 of my Thursday night players and another player who I know through my husband's former workplace, but we're gamers. We've been gamers together for a while. He's going to be our 5th player, and of course, oops, I got a knot in there. Let me show you how to take out a knot. These little loops up here, sometimes in your thread, and if that happens, you can just take your needle. This is not going to be easy for you guys to see with that goldenrod against the goldenrod, but you just put your needle through that thread, and it's just caught on itself. You can just gently pull it through, and then it usually fixes itself just fine. But we played games. We play Warcraft together. He no longer plays. I miss him in Warcraft. Don't tell him, because we have this love-hate thing going. But he is joining us as a tiefling sorcerer. He has only played 1.5 hours of Dungeons and Dragons. So but he's a pretty smart guy. So he understands the concept of it, but it'll be fun. We're all going to be level 8 characters. So Drake is our DM. He is coming up with an interesting storyline. He has asked me to build. Well, he didn't actually ask me to build it. I put my foot down and said, if you want me to build a terrain for this, I cannot do it. I have no time. And then he told me what he wanted, and I said, maybe I can build that. So I'm going to build a separate terrain for that. And so you'll get to see live in use one of my terrains. And everyone can watch on Twitch that night, March 16th. It's coming up. My goodness. Drake better get going with the storyline. At 9 o'clock East until midnight. And watch us play on the terrain. I'm playing my ranger. Whoops, that's got caught back there. Playing my ranger Ronan with her trusty companion Naku, my direwolf. I am a ranger at heart for sure. I think all my characters in gaming are some form of ranger. A Sylvari ranger in Guild Wars 2. I play a hunter in Warcraft, of course. Although my original MMORPG character was a shaman, a barbarian shaman in EverQuest. There, that dates me. Yeah, Lich King hype. I have to joke. My pet's always named Naku, and so my pet in World of Warcraft is also Naku. And way back in the day when we played what's the expansion? Ice Crown? The Lich King. The Lich King expansion. We joked that Naku would always run up the stairs at the end of the Lich King fight and sit on the throne, so we always declared that he was the next Lich King. So that's why Raynick said that. Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, yeah, thank you. I am old. Oops. I used a very long piece this time because it was already cut and ready to go. Normally I would use a shorter piece and I would have less tangles and less knots. Let's see, I spoke too soon. There's another one. When I use the, okay. Let's figure out that knot. Okay, I've pulled it too tight now. Alright, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it through. Give it a gentle tug. Pull it through. I'm going to tie that off on the back and start again without that knot. The way I tie it off is find the former loop. Run your needle through. It's going to catch on that knot. But I'll pull it gently through. Oh, now I've got 2 knots. I'm chatting too much about Naku, getting all excited about my hunter. It's tangled. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Plus I'm having to do this a foot away from my face. I can't see to begin with. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to cut that off. Just my scissors. Boom! Haha! Alright, let's pull this one out. Re-knot that one later. And then we're just going to tie a knot here. You know what I'll do? I will thread the needle there. It's harder to do with a smaller piece, but I'd rather do that than sit here and try to... Hold on, let me just let me get this up to my face. Okay. I actually took some naproxen. My arthritis has been kicking in. And it feels good right now. But trying to do these little itty bitty. There we go. Okay, let's just make a knot and get this over with. Alright. I just put a single knot in there. I'm not too worried about it. That's not going to get yanked off. Like I've said in my previous streams, these are not meant to be toys. So when I set up my Etsy shop, I always put a warning on there. It's not set up now. I am going to activate it soon as I get pictures taken and more of my inventory going. But these are not meant to be for children. But I know that they do get handled by children because they're ornaments and they're cute, and kids like cute stuff and they like pulling ornaments off trees. That's just the way life is. I have 5 kids. I understand. So I try to make it as child-proof as possible, but there are small bits on here, so there are some choking hazards, so everyone needs to be cautious when they make them. I always triple attach things like eyes and buttons, things that could be choking hazards. Yeah, they can't keep them in their hands. Yeah, Renick knows. He's got a couple of Rugrats at his place too. Okay, so because I'm getting so many knots in this, I'm going to show you a trick that might help to avoid further knots. Is hold your... This is not going to come over well on the stream, on the camera, because it's over the top. But I'm going to hold this up high and let the needle dangle down and let it untwist. Yeah, it's not working because there's... Let it untwist. That helps a little bit. Because sometimes there gets some twists in there. There's... Oh boy. I haven't even started drinking tonight, folks. That's tomorrow night for 3 sheets, 1 shot. So anyway, getting back to the D&D game, I'm really excited about that. I have live streamed D&D games before. D&D with the Banana Brothers, my 3 brothers, all including the one that's getting married in March, all play Dungeons and Dragons. And when I visit them in Florida, I bring down all the equipment and we play. And I streamed a couple of games last year in September, and we had a blast. In fact, I want to tell everyone who is interested in the the D&D game on the 16th. It will be the viewers will have an opportunity to alter the game, similar to what we did in D&D with the Banana Brothers. We're going to allow bits to determine roles and advantages, and who knows what. I told Drake to come up with some ideas that he's willing to, as the DM, willing to allow the viewers to have control over. So that will be fun. That will be a lot of fun. There goes all of Leyrena's bits, yeah? Yeah, except Gar Fletcher's not playing this one, but she knows Clovenhoof. And he's playing. So I'll bet there will be a lot of bits against Clovenhoof. His character's name is actually Emancipation, which is, I don't know, he just decided on that name. We've got Cog, our paladin, our half-orc paladin. Grump, our dwarf cleric. Me, the Ronin, the ranger. We've got Avi, the halfling rogue, and Emancipation, the tiefling sorcerer. So, yeah, there are always suitable replacements for Leyrena's Wrath. But it'll be fun. The folks who are playing all get along great, and they have great senses of humor. They've all agreed to appear on stream. So it'll be a fun night. I know, right? We've got all these fantasy games names, and he comes up with Emancipation. I said, "What's your surname? Proclamation?" He didn't answer me. Could have come up with. He has so many. The artists that drew. In fact, one of my Nerdsmith buddies drew the little portraits for that game, and I've started advertising a little bit. If you go to my Discord, you can see the pictures there that CJ drew for me, and he captured them. I mean, I just sent a written description of each of the characters, and especially Emancipation. Even the player was impressed. He was like, "Wow, he caught my caught my dark side there, my edgelord look." I said, "Yep." I said, "He's really good." Oh my goodness. So speaking of 3 sheets, one shot tomorrow night. Rylan, he's at work now. He can't come to my Thursday stream. He's another one of my moderators, but he came up with a really clever idea for one of my one shots. So he'll be on The Voice with us tomorrow night, I hope. And anyone who is a Twitch sub or, well, I'll just say Twitch sub for now, because we're working on a deal with Nerdsmith to get minions from Nerdsmith over to that channel if they want. If you become a minion on Nerdsmith, I'm hoping to open up that 3 sheets one shot chat opportunity. Whether you give me the creator coin or not, I mean all minions if they want to come join. I think I have to limit the number. I can't have 20 people on that telling us how to run the story. But I think that'd be a lot of fun, getting more people in that voice chat. But it is, the story is directed by you guys. I just type it. I come up with some ideas and you guys either vote on it or come up with a better idea. And eventually we end up with a one-shot. And it was named 3 sheets one-shot. Because I was drunk when I came up with the idea. And so far the stories are much longer than 3 sheets. Because of course I include maps that I make to include in the story. All those 3 sheet one-shot campaigns are available free to my family on Twitch. I'm sorry, on Discord. So if you are on Discord, I only have one published, I think, right now. I'll have to go. I still have to fix up and edit Netherstone to Stonebridge. That one has, I think that one has 6 maps on it. All right, I've finished the cheese grommet, and we will now work on the pepperoni. Let's put this over here. All right, the pepperoni requires the darker DMC floss. That's 3777. Do you know that the color of one of the floss colors, I don't know if it's DMC, of red, I think is number 666. I just found that hysterical. There we go. Yeah, no worries, T-Girl. I know that you're working on it, but that would be a lot of fun. Maybe not by tomorrow night, of course, but eventually letting the minions on Nerdsmith join if they want. Especially the world builders, the writers who want to contribute. This is just a fun, relaxing story time on Friday nights at 7 here on my channel here. It's called 3 Sheets 1 Shot. And I am in the process of moving my Patreon levels over. I only have one Patreon level now active, and it's just the $1 level. And that's just for, if you want to be a part of the Dragonkin family, you can go to Patreon and do the $1 level. But I'm encouraging anyone who would like to support me to please do so through Nerdsmith. It's a win-win, like I said, because I receive, of your $5 pledge, I receive $3 of that, and that they already take care of all the fees and taxes and everything, so I get that straight up. And you guys get a ton of extra content, more than I can give you through Patreon. So that is why I encourage all of you to head on over. Now's a good time because February has already finished, so on Patreon you can close that and go over to Nerdsmith and take advantage of that and throw that creator coin. In fact, Logan was joking with me. He said, I don't know if I could put the apostrophe on Qyjari, so do you want it just to be Curious Crafts? And I said, sure. And he was like, well, that puts you higher on the list anyway. I'm like, yeah, that's even better. Okay, so let's determine where we're going to put our pepperoni pieces. This is important decision. The proper pepperoni distribution here. Okay, leave room for the smile and the eyes. This is an easy craft, by the way. Easy peasy. Let's move this up to the... There we go. All right, again, we're going to use our running stitch. That's that in and out stitch I showed you here to attach the pepperoni. The one thing that I do want to say, when you're doing the running stitch on the pepperonis on the side, you only want to do the arced part, not the flat part, and I'll show you why later. You're not gonna stitch this part. You're gonna leave that unstitched. That's a trick for later. So let me just get the this one on first. Again, just the one piece of crust, not both of them. Did I knot this? I can't remember. I was chit-chatting. Oh yeah, sorry. You can just, you know what, you can just give T-Girl all the permissions to do that. Maybe I gotta get Drake to fix that and not have don't have any timeouts. Okay, again, just a running stitch around the outside of these. I can chit-chat some more. And you know what? I can go longer than an hour today because I don't have to catch the bus for my littlest. She is home. She is probably sitting in front of her computer watching YouTube videos. Of course, she could be on here, I guess. She could be watching me. Of course, she could be watching me in the room, too, but... Uh-oh. I'm just having issues with knots today. There we go. That one came out nice and easy. Well, let me catch up here. Let's see. That's the one, Rainick. You got it. Yep, there's the donate one. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, the Curious Crafts link takes you directly to my Nerdsmith page that they put together for me. And all the videos from YouTube are posted there. And the top one is the direct link here. It's a great resource. Yeah, he does have this channel on lockdown. Well, we weren't sure at first. You know, you get some stalkers at the beginning, and then you get your real friends that are coming back over and over again, and they help patrol, like you, Rainick, and some others. Rylan, he's another moderator, and you guys got my back. When I was doing this all by myself, it was, yeah. There's been some underbelly. Yep. We want to avoid that. Love and positivity. That's what we're about. Acceptance, love, positivity. No worries, T-Girl. No worries at all. Oopsie. So we're just going around on the outside of our pepperoni. Now the thing you could do with your pepperoni is I told you that dark red felt was one color on one side and a little bit lighter on the other. So if you wanted to switch your pepperonis to be more of a variety, you can do that as well. It depends on the piece of felt fabric you buy by the yard. I do have to buy that at a fabric store. I go to Joann's for that. It's our largest fabric store in this area. We had a Hancock Fabrics, but they closed. Whoops. Knocked my glue gun over. Oh, Sherponder, no.
Ooh, hello again, handsome.
Hey, Jake. If you are a Twitch sub, you get that special greeting from Sir Mimsy. And in fact, I had to ask Jimmy to make me some more because there's so many of you. So thank you. I had to pick that one out for Jake. That was a good one. In fact, I think that's the one that Jimmy came up with on his own. I gave him instructions for a couple of them, and I said, hey, and whatever else you can think of, throw that in there. And so he did the Hello Handsome one. Aren't they cute? I love the pizzas. I showed it Tuesday night on my Qyjari's Curious Craft stream, and I think Del Mori lost it. She's my daughter. She's the one who drew Sir Mimsy. So she's got that whole chibi anime type art going, and she lost it. She was like, that smile, look at that smile, he looks so happy. Oh hey, you know what we can talk about while I sew these other pieces of pepperoni onto the pizza? What I'm gonna make next week. Next week is a hopefully single stream project. Don't want to have to go over to the next one because the next one will be the start of a St. Patty's Day ornament. I don't know what yet. I'll have to actually look for something. I don't have a St. Patty's Day ornament, but I'm gonna find one and we're gonna make that the 2 weeks prior to St. Patty's Day. But next week, I didn't have anything prepared, so I thought I would ask you guys what you think. I have 2 of my ornaments here that from which we can choose, or you guys can come up with something completely different. Let me put those on the screen and you can see them. One is the traditional pickle. Everyone needs a pickle on their tree. This little guy has the same kind of smile as our pizza man here. And the other one, he doesn't have a smile, but you know what? I realized this donut totally could have a smile. If I put a smile like that on the donut, wouldn't that be cute? So maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do a donut with a smile, or we'll make a pickle. So you guys in chat, let me know what you think. A pickle or a donut. We're going to stick with the food theme this month, apparently. I could make a bacon. I could make my bacon. I don't have a bacon done, but that was one of my best sellers one year. Bacon with the little Santa hat on it. And I have some of those cut out, so I could do bacon. So add bacon to the vote. If you want to do, if you think I should do the pickle, the donut, or the bacon, just let me know. I could post a picture of the bacon, but I don't have any. They've all sold out. Every time I make them, they sell. So I need to make a bunch more. And I do have those cut out ready to go. So those would be easy to put together. Yeah, I like the donut too, but I think it would be a lot more cute with a face on it. You know, we got the whole face theme, food face thing going. To enter to win, all you have to do is say something, and you did that. So you are entered. And everyone on the stream, this ornament is for my viewers tonight. I'm so used to saying tonight. If you are on the stream and lurking, we love our lurkers. Like I said, don't have to say a word, but if you want to win, gotta say something, even if it's just a hi, just lurking. And then you are qualified. You have an entry into winning this little pizza. Bacon is amazing. I love bacon. Last month we made a Valentine's pig. It made me think of the bacon. I haven't mailed that Valentine's pig yet, though. The winner of that was Lego Ink Vile, who watches pretty regularly. And I've got it packaged up, but it's been a crazy week. This week, the kids are home, and it's been horribly cold and rainy and overcast and blah. So I haven't wanted to leave the house, so I haven't taken it to the post office yet. But I will mail it soon. Oops. I just stabbed myself. I need to take out insurance on my fingers. My crafting fingers. Alright, we've almost got this second piece of pepperoni. There's really not enough pepperoni on this pizza, but I didn't want to cover it too much. Normally it would just be pepperoni with a little bit of sauce and cheese. Although my favorite, honestly, my favorite pizza flavor is Papa John's has a buffalo chicken. And I like spicy. So it's like a they put wing sauce on it and bits of chicken and onions and a white sauce like a ranch. It is so good. In fact, I'm drooling right now thinking about it. I have to go order that for dinner tonight. No, dinner tonight we're making a Cajun shrimp and pasta. Cajun shrimp and sausage pasta. I told the girls we would have that tonight for dinner. Okay, so that is the 2 large pieces of pepperoni. Now we're going to put on our half pieces. Donut, okay. Grumpy face donut would be funny. Actually, you know what would be funny? A grumpy face one with a bite out of it. Mushroom and yellow peppers. The mushrooms can be substituted for Italian sausage. Yes. That's a good pizza. And everyone's going to be going out for dinner tonight and having pizza because pizza. Okay. That's a big knot. But it's going to be in the back, so it doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? Because it's on the edge, I'm going to trim it a little bit. I don't want that knot. I don't want that bit of fray at the end of that knot to accidentally show through. All right. So again, we're not going to sew this straight edge here, and that is because we have to sew the back to the front using our blanket stitch, and it has to go under this part. So we're not going to stitch this down, because we don't want that the color floss, the crust color floss, to be on top of our pepperoni. We're going to have it go underneath, and then we're going to use our glue gun, our Sure Bonder glue gun, to then glue that down over the top, and that makes it look much nicer like it does here. This is not sewn on, that is just glued on that end too. I've sewn it here, but not here. All right, let's do the edge here. Like that. Rainick. They're working on it. They're working on it. Drive on there. Okay, this is getting... There, that's better. Upside down was not working out for me. I'm excited about my Miramore Cliffside Village on Tuesday nights. This Tuesday, we are no longer working on the houses. We have 5 of the 7 that we had planned done, and we'll make 2 off stream to fill that in. But we're going to start working on the actual cliffside, and I'm excited about that because that's going to be a lot of more terrain than just housing, more terrain than building. But this is the first time I've ever constructed a vertical terrain. So I'm excited about that. It is a cliffside village that's been abandoned because water rushed in and partially submerged the village. And I have a lot of ideas. The houses that we built, the little halfling houses, we made them look old, abandoned, moss covered. Mold, I guess. Really more mold than anything since it's water damaged. we're putting pipes in the terrain made out of cardboard tubes because Miramore has a connection to a gnome city in my world called Granlin, where they've attached some aqueduct type piping. So all that is being constructed. Not all of it. That part is going to start being constructed this Tuesday, and I'm excited about that. So that'll be a little switch up from just working on those houses. Although the houses have turned out really cute. But we're going to have to, I'll have to actually go out and buy more insulation. I use foam insulation from the hardware stores for it. And I think I want it to be a little bit bigger than our original plan when we first started this project. So I need to go get some more. And it's the 2-inch thick foam insulation. I had to buy it in 2 foot by 2 foot pieces, because I can't fit an 8 foot, 2-inch wide, 8 foot by 4 foot piece of insulation in my minivan. Okay. And that goes at the bottom there. Oh, hello, Rhonda. Hello, LJ. Glad you could join. I will do a shout out if you ask. I know Jake showed his mom a couple of my crafting streams, so glad you could watch today. If you like this kind of thing. I'm doing this upside down again, guys. What is wrong with me? I gotta turn this back around. There we go. Oops. Let's move that out of the way. We don't need that. Ooh, pineapple pizzas. You know what? I haven't done a pineapple ornament. That would be fun to do. We should do a pineapple ornament. I'll design one. It would go along so well with my hula gingerbread and get that whole tropical theme going. That'd be cute. I love coming up with different patterns for these ornaments. I really do. I love finding ideas and designing the pattern and making it my own. Yeah, a separate pineapple ornament. I like that idea. We should do that. Yeah, high five. High five on that idea. Oh, hey, guess what? It's 2 o'clock. Well, we're almost done, so we're going to go a little bit longer. If you can hang out with us, that'd be great. We're almost done with this. It gets a little easier. The outside of it is just that blanket stitch that we've done in the past, but I will at least get as far as getting the back on and showing you how to do the this thing, the ribbon holder, putting it through the center. We're going to do that next. So fold it in half and find the center. And I love my cutting pad here because it has a built-in ruler. Every square is 1 inch, and then each of those little dots represents 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to find the center, which is right here, and I'm going to take this. This is oh, you know what? Let me try to make that. This is the 1/8 inch ribbon I'm going to use for the little loop that goes at the top, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to tie it in a knot. Oops. Again, doing this a foot away from my face. Normally I have it right up to my nose. Pull it through, and there you go. And that's how you make it. And then you just trim it off at the bottom. And you've got your loop for your ornament. I keep, like I said, a lot of these colors around. So then what you're going to do is thread that through your wider-eyed needle. This is like a yarn needle. It probably doesn't need that wide. Let's try this one. I'm going to squish it and feed it through that eye. This one might be too small. a needle threader will not work on this. It's too small.
Simply smashing!
That is simply smashing. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for the bits. Okay, so I've got the loop pushed through both sides. That eye. And I'm going to find the center, which is right here. And on the inside, I'm going to poke that through the center, just like that. Now this is going to take a little bit of effort. So if you have to, grab a set of needle nose pliers to pull through. You don't want to cause a huge tear in your felt, but you do need to get that through there. I'm going to have to go get needle nose pliers. Where's my gaffer? I'll be right back. Okay. I forgot that my good pair of pliers is in my in my bins of items that I have to get out on Tuesday nights, but that's okay. I found my little pair. So I'm going to grab that and just give a yank. Oh, it broke the needle. Well, that's not going to work. It broke it again. I have cheap needles. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip this step. Let's get that needle out of there, though, so that we don't have... Oh, it's stuck on the thing. Well, that didn't... It usually works. I don't know why that didn't work. Oh, I'll just slide it off. Okay, so another idea. We are just going to gently cut a tiny hole, and feed it through using our hemostats. I use these hemostats to stuff all my little ornaments because they have a very long, I guess it's a neck. What would you call that piece? Whatever. It's a long, thin. It's like a long, thin needle nose pliers. They are a medical tool, but I was able to get them on Amazon. I got a couple of them. I'm just going to take this here and just push it through there very gently. And there we go. Now, see, it came right out that hole. That's why I have to make it very small. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of glue from my trusty Surebonder glue gun right here on the end, and I'm going to let that dry. I'm not going to fold it in half yet because I don't want that part, I want that part to stay rounded. If I squeeze that, it would glue onto itself. So I don't want that to happen yet. So I'm going to let that dry. So
simply smashing!
That is simply smashing, Jake. Thank you. That's to make up for that. I could spend that $1 on a new good needle. Which it looks like I'll have to do. Yeah, so trusty and reliable. We came up, I think Tuesday night we came up with a theme, a jingle for Surebonder, and we're still working on it. We decided to come up with our own jingle. Something like, oh, my glue gun has a first name. It's S-U-R-E-B. I can't sing. I need someone who can sing. Well, we did the Old MacDonald Had a Farm one too, didn't we? I only use Surebonder. Yes, I do. S-U-R-E-B. I don't know. Yeah, something else. I cannot sing. Okay, so that's almost dry. And let's go ahead and glue the eyes on while we're... No, the mouth. Because the eyes have to be centered on the mouth. So let's put the mouth on. Once again, trusty Surebonder. Gently. Little bit goes a long way with the hot glue. And I'm not going to do it all the way to the edge. Just like that. You have one chance to put it down. Oh, look at that little smile. That's so cute. All right, so you need black thread to sew the eyes on. I already have a needle here with black thread on it. Of course, it's all tangled. I don't know what happened to me. I need to get more organized. I got needles going everywhere here. No one move in my craft room, in my stream studio. Oh, it's already got a knot on it. Woohoo! Okay. Yeah. It's, let's see. It's the best dang glue. It's, oh yeah, that's a good idea instead of E-I-E-I-O. Yeah, we need to get, we don't have very constructive creative meetings. Okay, so your eyes can go on your pizza. Let's see, they can go apart like that. They can go closer in. They can be, maybe not that one. They can be way up there. That's kind of cute. I like it right there. Yeah, that's a good one. These actually have them, the eyes are on the edges of the mouth. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's cute too. What do you guys think? Which one? In more? Should they be crooked? Nah. In more or on the edge of the mouth? What do you think? First person to say something gets the vote. No one has an opinion. Okay, I'm just gonna sew them on. All right. Goes in the back again. Just the front. I'm just gonna sew them on and see what it looks like when I'm done. I always sew these. Give it three. Well, I don't know what you'd call it. 3 go rounds. That's the official word. 3 go rounds. So they're extra secure. So through the bead. Now these beads at 3 millimeters have a wide enough opening, but you do want to be careful when you're using smaller beads like seed beads or sequins, because you'll need a needle that's very...
Simply smashing!
Simply smashing! Jake doesn't care. Just put the eyes anywhere. You do want to make sure that the eye of the needle can get through the seed bead. I've had plenty of projects that I've been working on, and I've had to have a bunch of seed beads put out on my tray, and sometimes they just don't go through that the eye of the needle. And then I have to choose another one. Usually you can find another one in that same package of seed beads that will go through. Sometimes they're just you just get a batch that are too small. And you could use a very tiny eye on a needle, but threading that with floss is very difficult. And I tend to use floss because it is more sturdy than just thread. I use thread on some things. I forget if that was 2 or 3. We're just going to do another one just in case. Yeah, we need a creative team. I need people. I need more people. I got some people, I need more people. Oh, look at those cute little eyes. That's so cute. Alright. I took my readers off and now I can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. Alright, this is how I make a knot. I am from the school of, the embroidery school of always make the back of your project look as neat as the front. And that's an old cross-stitch and embroidery trick. That way you don't have lumps of knots and thread, clumps of thread hanging off. Okay. There! He's so cute! Alright, let's start our blanket stitch around the outside. That is using the 3864 color. Let's see if this one requires a, yes, this requires separating into from 6 to 2. So the way we do that, let me put my readers on. There we go. I'm going to gently untwist it here. Probably shouldn't have chosen a color that's flesh color so you could see it better. I will separate these and I will show it to you on my... There we go. There. See how it's got... Well, you can see... Yeah, you can see all 6 of them there, I think. I'm going to take 2 of those here and just gently run my finger to separate them. And I'm having to untwist as I go, so I'm going very slow. If you go too fast, you're going to get a bunch of knots, and that is not fun. See what I did there? That's so funny. I have to crack myself up when I'm when I self-produce. There we go. Okay, so that's the strand of 4 that's left. That'll get divided later. All right, I'm smoothing this out because it does get tangled a little bit, and that tangling causes the knots that we don't want. All right, let's thread this one. Do I have a needle available? I guess I'll use this black one. I usually try to have several needles all threaded with the colors I'm using at the same time, instead of having to take thread off and rethread. This has some little hairs at the end, little strands. I don't know what else to call them. So I'm going to trim that so it's nice and... I can't see. There we go. Oh, no. I'll lick it again. Like I said, every ornament that I sell comes with a little bit of my DNA. Ah! Thankfully no blood, though. No blood in the ornaments. There's been close calls, but... Okay, come on, you. I'm gonna put this up to my eyes. Sorry. Off-screen crafting. Off-screen crafting.
Simply smashing!
Jake, what is that? You just want to hear Sir Mimsy, huh? Thank you. You're going to be top of that leaderboard, I think. Okay, I've got that threaded. I had Sir Mimsy do a bunch of other voices for me. In fact, Jake, you missed Tuesday night. We wanted you to be there to hear Sir Mimsy. I was joking with Drake. I got my new business cards in the mail. They're right here. You can see them. And I made a bit. I had a really funny bit at the beginning where I said that my new business cards could talk. All you do is press the button, and then I pressed a button, and Drake had Sir Mimsy say one of his new greetings, and it was hysterical. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to start at the side near the crest, right here. And we're going to go across here with our blanket stitch. Then we're going to go across this part here with our running stitch. So let's do that real quick. And I'll show you how to start a blanket stitch. I always hide the knot inside the ornament. And I do that by gently running the needle through where you can only see it on the inside. See how you can only see the needle on the inside, not on the outside. This is why you want to use nicer felt. You don't want to use the cheap felt because cheap felt is very, you can see through it. It's very, not as thick. Thin. It's very thin. So I'm going to run that through there, and that knot is going to stop inside there. And then we can start our blanket stitch. And we are going to go to the, actually we're going to go to the right. I'm going to do it on the back. Okay, you always start with one right where the knot goes in. That's our starting stitch. Loop it around the needle. And we're going to hold that right at the edge there. This is a little different, having starting on a fold. So that's that stitch, and I will show that to you on our sample here. The way you start. That's where we buried the stitch on the inside, and then we ran it to the top. It's easier to see on this darker with the yellow thread. And you always start that one there, and then you keep going to the right or left if you prefer. Okay, and then the stitches are all about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. I would say 3/8. Yes, there's math in crafting, just like there's math in D&D. And we're going to go, like I said, down to that crust. Our stuffing filled crust. Not as tasty as cheese filled. Ooh, bacon and cheese filled. Someone needs to make a bacon and cheese filled crust. Then you could dip it in like a ranch dressing, like fries. Oh, I'm getting so hungry right now. Okay, so I've stopped there where that part is for the crust, and I'm going to do a running stitch. And first I'm going to seal this off with a small knot at the top, like this. Just go through, wrap it around a couple times. Gently. This is where you don't want a tangle to appear. And I'm just going to seal that off, just with a gentle knot. And then I'm going to put my thread into the inside and have it appear right there. There we go. Oh, really? Oh, man. That would be good. Okay. So now we do a running stitch. That's that in and out stitch that we did for the cheese and the pepperoni. Now, because it's not on the edge of anything, and we want it to appear nice on the back, I'm going to keep referencing the back as I go. If you need to draw a small line with a pencil, you can. It will be seen. Maybe draw it on the back. But I've gotten really kind of good at keeping, I can feel that hot glue in there, keeping the stitch straight. You want it to look nicer on the front than the back, but you don't want it to be too crooked in the back either. So having a line might be helpful. You could use some chalk pencils or fabric pencils, and that would work too. I do have some of those in my inventory. I don't have them at the table here. The nice thing is, once this gets stuffed with the stuffing, you can barely see, you'll barely see this running stitch anyway. So it's not vital that it be beautiful. Let's go in and out here. Yeah, that would be good. I'm so hungry. I definitely want that buffalo chicken pizza from Papa John's. That sounds really good. I'm never going to lose that 10 pounds before the wedding. My brother's just going to have to deal with it. Oh my goodness. Clover and Littlest are in the wedding also. We've got a whole party coming. The wedding party. We're 3/8 of the wedding party. Oh no, what did happen there? I caught it on the edge of the felt. Oh, I should pay attention. It's a special, I think. Maybe they only ran it in a few cities, but it was a limited time thing. But then I think it became kind of popular enough to leave on the menu. And if they don't, because they have hot wings, you can probably special order it. You can go to their site and just say to put on the ranch sauce instead of red sauce, and then put chicken, onions, and cover it with the hot sauce. You can custom order it yourself. Or whatever else. I think I've had it with bacon too. That'd be good. Of course, everything's good with bacon. Hey, did we ever get a vote on what we're doing next week on Aunt Anne's tree? Are we doing the pickle or the donut? I need people to vote so I can get it ready. I need to have time to make the pattern available to you all. The donut. Rainick votes for the donut. Spelling! Okay, so I am stopping here at the end of the... After I untangle this, I don't know why it suddenly got very tangled here. At the end of the crust before I finish it, because I have to stuff it now. But I'm going to leave the needle there. I'm going to do my little trick of untangling it. There, see it's rotating? That'll help. Boy, it's really tangled. Okay, I'm going to use my hemostats, get some of this stuffing, and just push a little bit into the crust. I wish you were cheese and bacon. Well, not really, because that would not be good inside a tree ornament at the after all. And I'm just going to gently stuff the crust. You thought you were just making a regular pizza. I know Logan said, I was talking to him about this, about making an ornament on Discover RPG the other day. And he said he wanted a deep dish pizza. I don't know if I can do that. I'd have to use a lot of felt to make a deep dish pizza ornament. Okay, so we don't need that much. Let go. Okay, then I'm going to finish sewing up the crust on the end there, and then I'm going to, because we've already gone over our time, I'm going to finish this this part, and then I'm going to show you how to, using the other side, stitch around this area and then glue it, and then the rest of the stitching can be done off stream. And remember, say something in chat if you want to win. This one, this winning is only for viewers today. This one's only, if you're watching, you're eligible, but you got to say something so I know that you're here. I'm going to start my blanket stitch like that, like I did the other one, and this time go up this side, sealing that in. Oh! I pulled it right out. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, I'll send you a business card, Jake. Sure. Jake is one of my patrons. I was just talking about switching over to Nerdsmith, Jake. If you want to switch your patron to Nerdsmith, that would be awesome. I don't know if you got my... I haven't sent the email out yet, but I did post on Discord that I'd like you guys to have more content, and that is why I'd like all my, especially my Elder Plus, to head over to Nerdsmith. If you do support me there, you get a creator coin, and you can select Curious Crafts near the top of the list because I went with C, not Q. And they have a ton of bonus content once you become a subscriber. It's very similar to Patreon, but you get more stuff. Okay, I'm going to run this needle through like I always done, like I've shown you before how to hide it, and then I'm going to start the blanket stitch on that, underneath that pepperoni, so you can see how to finish that part, and then the rest of it I can do off stream. Okay, so we're going to do this one. And the way we're going to do that is, I'm going to have to actually do this backwards. I'm usually going from right to left. So I'm going to start the stitching right here. Here's that hidden stitch, where the knot gets hidden. Like that. Let's put the thing back on. See, you don't see it from the back. Give that a starter stitch. Because this is not stuffed, when I do finish this, I will do this and then we'll end, but then I will start here and go all the way around and not worry about stuffing it, because it's not a it's not like this kind of ornament where it's fully stuffed. This part is flat, just like the bacon is. The bacon one I make is flat. Okay, you know, maybe we'll do the grumpy donut with a bite out of it. That would be funny. Okay, so we are doing the blanket stitch. I just did the starter stitch, and when you get up to the pepperoni, you're going to want to use your finger to hold that back like that and go underneath it. Be careful not to go touch it with the needle going this way. You don't want to catch it and have that lighter colored thread showing on the other side of the pepperoni. Like that. Is that coming through okay? It's hard for me to tell on the camera. I'll hold it. Let me just hold it up for you. See how I'm holding that away from the stitch as I go. And I will run it up to the edge of the crust and then finish that part off and show you how to glue it. Well, I mean, show you how I glue it. Again, we don't want to put the glue along the very edge. Glue and felt work great together, but they work too great if you make a mistake, especially on the surface of your ornament. It will ruin it. I think I showed you, I forget which stream it was, but I showed you how you can fix it. But it is not always easy to fix. it doesn't always work. That's why another reason why you want to use the nicer felt, because the thicker it is, the easier errors can be fixed. Okay, so I put a knot in there. I'm going to run that through, hide the end, hide the thread at the end so we don't have thread. I gently pull, clip it near the felt, and then that end of that thread disappears inside the item. Okay, so whoopsie. So I've got the stitches there and on the back, nice and neat. Make sure you guys can see that. And I'm going to take the glue gun and run it. I always use a mini glue gun. That's important. A large glue gun would be very difficult. It is stuck on a piece of something over there. I also make sure that I clean off the tip. I have a silicone mat here that I use to clean the tip off. I just take it. You could use your gloves too. Big old Joe sent me some hot glue gun gloves. But you could take, after you clean that off, you take it and you just put a very, very thin line of glue on the inside. It will stretch to the outside. Gently. You don't want it to spill over the top. And there you go. Don't squeeze it. Don't squeeze it too much. It will splurt out, and then it will be difficult to correct. And that's how you do it. And that's our pizza. I will finish the stitching, and it will go out to one of you. Oh, what glue gun do I prefer? I prefer Surebonder. It is the best glue gun I have ever used. I'm coming up with a jingle for that. I can't sing. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you said anything in chat, I will go through and I will put your name into a bucket and I will draw a name, and you will win this cute little pizza that we've worked on today with the nicer colored ribbon that matches better. And I will send that out to you. And join me join Layrena tonight at 7 o'clock East, doing some steampunk crafting. Join me tomorrow night on 3 Sheets One Shot. Yes, I will already have had my gin and tonic, so it always makes it funnier. Or not. Join me there. Rylan will be there, hopefully, at 7 p.m. East to help this story along. On Tuesday, of course, Miramore. I'm working on the actual cliffside. I'm excited about that. And next Thursday, we will work on a new pattern. I will take this, alter it, put a sad face on a bitten donut. How does that sound? All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. See you next time.